Somké.
Yeah, we back. This is MMA Underground. I'm your host, Somké, and we have a very, very special guest in the building. You just saw his clips. We have the one, the only BlackFlash in the building.
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
Hey, man, it's great to have you, brother. You've been killing it, man, for some years, and it's definitely a pleasure to have you on today.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, shit, man, let's get into it. You recently had a fight last month, a couple weeks ago, at the Smoke Ranch with OG Darkness, of all
Yes.
people. Let's talk about that, man. What was your thoughts on that fight, man?
Man, that was fucking crazy because when I pulled up there, man, you know how it is, bro. Like I had to call off work. I was anxious, man, because it was like that's money that you're not getting, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta make the most out of that time. I just recently got a new whip, man. I've been going through my own personal shit. And when I don't know if you saw when I did the sign up post, I said, I know I pulled out before. I know there's been, issues here and there with sign ups. So I said, listen, if I don't make this event, and this was for me, I said, if I don't make this event, fucking ban me from this group. I needed to be here. I didn't want no pullout. I didn't want no bullshit. I feel like when I done street beefs, I feel like I always let my own mental shit get in the way with some performances. And a lot of guys, Free Smoke, Battleborn, Josh, who I've sparred with and I train with, would always say to me in training, like, dude, why the fuck the guy you're not here in the gym as is the one we're seeing in street beefs? And it was always some mental shit. So I told myself, going to this fight, I gotta be that version of myself that everyone knows I was. And I went when I got there. I'm under the impression I'm gonna fight Jay Knees because when I talked to after I weighed in, Smoke was like, "Hey man, you want to fight Jay Knees? No one's, you guys are around the same weight." And that guy, in my opinion, man, as the active fighters in street beefs, is the baddest motherfucker right now. I got so much respect for that guy. You know what I'm saying? I watch his fights. I watch his work outside of street beefs. So when they told me, "Hey, you got to fight Jay Knees," I'm like, "Shit." It's like playing UFC and you on legend mode. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not scared. I ain't a bitch. I said, yeah, I'll fight him. I told him I'll fight him. But in my mind, I'm like, fuck. Like, I got to fight this guy. So I think that kind of helped me with confidence because it was like sink or swim, dude. You're about to go in there with this undefeated motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And don't get wrong. Darkness is a bad motherfucker. I love Darkness. I watch his fights. But like when they told me I had to fight him instead of Jay Knees, my mind was like, oh, shit. Like, it was kind of like, it was like, imagine you think you're about to go bungee jumping, but you go on a roller coaster instead. You know what I'm saying? It was like kind of like fuck. Like I'm like I thought I was going to fight him. So when they said that, I'm like, okay, Darkness is a dangerous fucking fighter too. I'm not this. You know what I mean? But I was like, fuck. I thought I was about to fight this guy out here. You know what I mean? Like you've seen his work. You know what I'm talking about with Jay-Knees, man. So I'm like, I was a little bit more relaxed and yeah, man, fighting a monster like him, Darkness is a fucking beast and just getting in there with him. And I was just happy to show you guys what I've done, how much I improved, I didn't want to be that same guy who would get in his head in the previous Street Beef fights. That was my main thing.
I think you showcased that, man, especially with you dealing with life currently, one thing that impressed me with both of you guys, you and Darkness, I view you guys as similar fighters in the sense that you guys are very explosive and you guys tend to give it your all, right? And I was kind of expecting that clash of chaos. You know what I'm saying? And both of you guys seem to be real methodical and almost calm, almost, in a flow state. Like, you guys were really still working, but not like not out of mind. You know what I'm saying? And kudos to both of y'all. I think you showed that very, very much so on the ground. And as well as Darkness, because we know how explosive he can be. As
Right.
soon as that bell rings, he's running,
Yeah,
at you.
hell yeah, hell yeah.
It was good to see the jujitsu, the ground game being implemented. Was that your first time in the new cage with the mats and everything?
Yeah, yeah, it was. And that was one thing that really fucking excited me, man, because it was like, when you can go to Street Beefs, you know how it is, dude. You fight in that sand, you're going home with like cuts and bruises on your legs. And you don't even realize how much you were scrambling on there, and you're fucking scraped up because you don't feel it in a fight. But so yeah, seeing the match, it was kind of cool because it really brings in, like, it's still gritty, it's still outdoor, it keeps that
Mhm.
image, but it's becoming more of, like, I was just explaining to somebody, it's not the same guys training in their garages fighting shit anymore. It's like, no, these are real fucking motherfuckers, but it's like Enter the Dragon. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're real fighters meeting up in this one designated spot. You know what I mean? To get down. So like seeing the mats and all that, it excited me because it was like it felt like a non-sanctioned amateur fight, if that makes sense. Like it
Yeah.
didn't feel like we're scrapping in, the dirt, and that felt more like a safer street fight. But now it feels like fuck, I can show this to somebody, and to them it doesn't look any different than if I showed them me in a tough enough fight. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
it's kind of cool, and I feel like that's exciting a lot more fighters who really want to take that route, but they don't have the opportunity for amateur fights. So that mat, man, made a big difference.
That's awesome, man. I definitely wanted to get your opinion. Not only utilizing the grappling the way you have,
Yeah.
but you're one of the few fighters who've I believe you've been in every West Coast arena, except for maybe the hot box. But as far as like Nevada go, or have you been in the hot box?
No, no, no. I haven't been in the hot
Okay.
box. No,
You've
no.
been at all the Nevada locations. So I definitely wanted to get your opinion on the mats. But
Mm-hmm.
also, what has been your favorite setting, your favorite place to fight?
Man. So I really do like the setup at the Smoke Ranch. I think maybe I'm biased because I do love the cage. Like even before the mat, I just like how the cage looks. It looks fucking dope.
Mm.
Um, but I don't know. I do kind of miss the sandbox a little bit. The sandbox was pretty lit. But man, nah, yeah, man, the Smoke Ranch is fire, dude. You got to give it to the Smoke Ranch. The Smoke Ranch is it's just chill. It's just vibes, man. It's just vibes.
Facts, facts. Now, with that, man, like I said, you've been at most of all the Nevada venues. You've been with us for a while, man. I mentioned you being an OG because not too many fighters know what the sandbox is or was,
Right.
and I remember seeing your first fight. I believe it was against Bundy,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, what a hell of a scrap! Like both of you guys made an impression that day. And since then, you know what I'm saying? And you've been a
Right.
household name, at least to me in the community since then. Um, Walk us through that first fight, man.
Man, so like, man, that was crazy, man. So like, my kid was just born. I took a little, but like a smoker out in Arizona, like that same month she came home, and it, didn't go my way. It was a boxing match, and I was hungry, and I just kept spamming Tiny Tank because I didn't know how Street Beefs worked at the time. So I'm like, man, I want to fight, I want to fight, I want to fight. I know I'm annoying this guy, but he's being patient with me. I'm just like spamming him. And then he was like, "Hey, we got a guy. He doesn't have an opponent. How much you weigh right now?" And I told him I'm like 168, 160, 69ish. And he was like, "All right, well, you want to fight him?" And mind you, like I'm off the couch. I'm not in a real gym, but I'm just hungry. You know how that is when you got that hunger and you don't care if you're, you know, you just want to fight. And he said, all right, we'll come through. And so I had my homeboy drop me off. I went in there, fought Bundy, man. We went 3 rounds, and I just felt the love of the community. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like I seen the other fights. I got to see how everybody came together, win or loss. Everybody was all involved. Everybody was taking pictures, smoking fucking bongs and talking, and you know, some beautiful women there. I'm like, dude, this is fucking lit, man. You know, I wanted to be a part of that. So it didn't go my way, but seeing where Bundy went in his career, you know, how despite me and him going back and forth here and there every now and then, you know, we have our little bullshit, but in terms of just being a fighter, man, he's a great fucking fighter, undefeated. He went on to win the belt shortly after that. Did his thing in the amateurs. Like, I got nothing but respect for him as a fighter. And just knowing that I was able to go 3 rounds with a guy like that, you know, off the couch, that gave me assurance that if I really take this shit serious, I can do something with it, you know. So that was a cool experience for sure.
Well said, man. Well said. And like I said, both of y'all fought y'all asses off. You know what I'm saying? Made an impression. And you know, it's funny because on the outside looking in, a lot of people don't see the community. They don't see the fellowship. They don't see everything that you just spoke on
Right.
as to why we do this and continue to do this. You know, so it was awesome that you was able to witness that in your first event. You know,
Yeah, right.
um, how did you initially find out about Street Beefs? Like, what was truly your entry point?
This was crazy. So like I used to get bullied a little bit in middle school, but StreetBeefs is old, man. That shit's been around since like '08. You know what I mean? I've been a fan for a long time. I remember when they made the first documentary back with fucking Scarface, and they were fighting out there in Virginia, you know what I mean, before we had so many branches, and I was hooked on it. I actually, so you know I'm not capping. I can show you, bro, my YouTube. I have an old playlist on my old account where it was like Street Beef fights, and I was watching them like in 2016, 2017. I got like a whole playlist of them. So it's like just when I heard they were in Vegas, because this was before you guys were like, it was like every month in Vegas. It was rare to be in Vegas. You know, this was like when they were getting down in the backyard, but there was like no cage or even people were literally
Right.
just backyard. And I remember hitting up Tank. That's why I kept spamming Tank. Because I kept saying, bro, I don't know when you guys are gonna be out here again. I want to fight. Like, bro,
I
well, why
see.
can't you yeah, he was like, why can't you do the next one? I'm like, bro, because you're not gonna be out here in the next one. That's when you guys are going back to Cali and shit. So I was like, bro, I gotta fucking do this. So yeah, that was like my thing. I knew of you guys, and once I knew what was out here, I was like, I gotta be a part of that. And then once it became normal to be in Vegas, that's where it kind of got crazy because I was like, well, fuck yeah, it's like right there. But yeah, you know, I was a big fan since it was just in Virginia only.
Nice. Nice. Any favorite fighters from OG Yard, West Coast? Anybody that you find yourself watching?
OG Yard, he's a legend, but Minam Warrior, bro, that
Oh yeah.
motherfucker, like, yeah,
Yeah.
he was my favorite. Beach, I loved watching Beach. He was
Mhm.
actually the first fighter I watched, and then but in bro, in West Coast, dude, fucking Jay Knees, and then El Coyote, bro. That knockout he just got, bro, like fuck, man. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
glad I'm
man.
not that actually got me wanting to see a nutritionist, bro. I'm trying to be a featherweight, bro. I saw that shit. I'm like, nah, fam. Like,
Yeah, man.
what
Yeah,
the
and you know
fuck?
it's ironic you brought that fight up because I believe I saw you in a smoker in the ring with Protestant, the guy that Coyote fought at the last event. I saw you guys y'all did a boxing match
Yeah,
a
yeah,
while
yeah.
back.
Oh shit, that was him.
That was him.
Dude, I didn't recognize him because he had fucking headgear when I seen his ass. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit, that was him.
yeah, man. Featherweight champ.
Fuck. I didn't,
Yeah,
bro. What the fuck? That's crazy. I didn't even know. That's wild.
yep,
Wow.
yep.
Wow.
Small world, small world, the
Small
fight
world.
world.
Yeah. Damn, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That was brutal to watch, man. That was fucking brutal. That
It
was fuck.
was, bro. But you know, that's all a part of the game. You know, you win some, you lose some, and you know, much like yourself, you come back to fight another day. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just focusing back to you, you've had some bangers, man. You've had some classic bouts. You know what I'm saying? The fight with you and No Love really stands out. Everyone knows the thumbnail. You
Right.
know, the submission against was it Izanagi?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that was really impressive. You know, seeing that guy, you know, I swear he had to have been about 7 feet tall. You
That's what
know
I'm
what I'm saying?
saying. Yeah.
Uh, what are some of your favorite fights or moments when you look back?
Bro, honestly, it's this last one because like
Okay.
when I fought No Love, these are things people don't know, and I can show you. So I'm not capping. Like, look at my arm right here. I don't want to get into the details of what happened, but right before I fought No Love, I had arm surgery, and my
Mm.
mentor, who passed recently, but he was supposed to be there, but he wasn't there. And when I was trying to cut weight to fight at 170, but then Tank hit me and said, "You want to fight No Love? He's a high profile name. It's a big fight for you." And why the fuck wouldn't I? You know what I'm saying? You gave me the option. I'm gonna take it, but I felt in my mind I could beat him. You know, I mean, he's a very talented motherfucker. He hits hard as shit, but I felt I had the skills. But when I got in there with him, like, you know, I had a really good game plan, but I just kind of I started landing head kicks, and that shit felt good. I never did that before, so I was like, fuck, but I guess he's a tough motherfucker. So I kind of got a little too excited and I gassed out, and then he took advantage and he finished me. You know, he was active, man. That's one of the most active guys. He would fight like 2 or 3 times in one day. So
Yeah.
that, but to know that I fought him, you know, after just arm surgery, you know, by choice. When I fought Bunny, it was off the couch. When I fought Izanagi, you guys don't even know this. I tore my hamstring right before I fought Izanagi. There was like so many. I always had so much shit going on that nobody knew about. So fighting darkness really truly felt like I had this chance to show what I got. No excuses, no shit going on. You know, I trained my ass off. I'm in the gym. I was ready to go, you know, and it's that performance, man. It was just being able to show the ground game, how much I improved in my jujitsu. Even though I haven't fought in StreetBeefs for 3 years, bro, like I've been fucking you know, grinding in the jujitsu world. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
go. Let's
Grinding
talk about that, man.
Muay Thai, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been fucking
Oh,
working. You
let's
know what
get
I'm
into
saying? So
that.
it's like I haven't been fighting there, but I've been fighting. So that's why this fight meant so much to me, because I kind of cringe at the other fights sometimes. You know, like Scooby, I like that fight because it was a war. And Zanagi, I like that fight. You know, I got the finish, but the other fights, I just was not there mentally. So that's what this last fight was about, was just cleaning up my record, you know, showing the skills. But honestly, man, I want to go for a fucking title run. That's exciting me. You know, I want to come there and I want to get that belt around my waist for sure.
Hell yeah. Which belt are we talking about? What are we looking at?
Featherweight for sure. Featherweight. I feel I can make featherweight. I feel like I'm in that weird like body type where it's kind of like that tall, lanky motherfucker. Like I can make 55 and kind of, you know, maybe 170, but I'm not. I'm always gonna be kind of smaller. I don't. I feel at featherweight, I'm the right fucking size. You know. I feel like at featherweight, I'm gonna do my best work, because even in jujitsu, when I compete at 155 or 154, I do really a lot better. And I feel like, you know, that little gap between 55 and 170, you know, that's a big fucking gap to close, you know what I'm saying? And like I think if I can make 145, I would be at that level
Hmm.
where I need to be.
What are you looking at MMA or are you looking at a different style?
MMA for sure. MMA, always
Okay.
MMA. Yeah, MMA.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I'd like to see it, bro. I definitely like to see it. I feel like you have the talent and the experience behind you. You know, especially at this point, you know. Um, just just had a thought where, you know, in this last fight, you were able to showcase that. Um, in the future, right? We have these different tournaments coming up. Does any of those interest you, or are you focused solely on the title run itself?
Yeah, man, it's that title run. I think once I get it, you know what I mean, I'll be more open to the super fights and to the, you know, like tournaments, like you said.
The
But I think
extras.
I just feel like I have a lot of cleaning up to do in terms of street beefs. Like I think I want to make up for those performances I was not there mentally. You know, I wanna have more wars where like, 'cause that's the thing with these tournaments that I've done, these exhibitions, I was able to like learn how to compete at your best ability at that moment. You know what I mean? And like you get those nerves before a fight as a beginner, and when I fought in those other fights, it was, I cringe when I look at them, man. I fucking cringe at them. Even making the highlight reel for the little, you know, introduction we did, I was like kind of cringing because I'm like, fuck, like I'm better. You know what I mean? I want to show more of the other shit, of the tournaments, of the exhibition, of the last fight. I want to look at those. When I look at the fights with Bundy and No Love, and like, you know, even though those were good fights, I'm like I see my flaws as a fighter. So I think once I get that MMA belt and I'm able to say I'm a fucking champion, you know, I get my jacket, whatever, like I'll feel okay. Let's fight whoever's next. Let's do the tournaments. Let's do the, you know what I mean, the super fights. You know, win, lose, it doesn't matter. But I want to solidify myself. I want my skills to speak for themselves. You know, I don't want to be that guy who just shows up and fight. I want to show up and fight and fucking dominate. I want to show up and, oh, there's the fucking champ. You know what I mean? And especially with Josh, who I have tremendous respect for, to hold the same belt that he held would be fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, watching him win the belt, training with him, seeing him go into the camps and do his thing, that would be fucking awesome, you know? So I definitely want that belt.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, especially with all the extra work that you've done outside of Street Beefs, you know, people tend to forget about, you know, it takes the performance of the day, right? But it
Right.
also takes, you know, those performances outside of the actual fight day, you know, the training sessions and you know, for yourself, you know, doing jujitsu tournaments outside, you know, racking up Muay Thai trophies. You know, let's talk about those, man. What made you get what made you get into jujitsu, and what keeps you returning?
So when I fought with Bundy, I got out grappled like a motherfucker in that fight. And so that I didn't like that feeling. And I trained a lot before that. I knew the basics of jujitsu, but like I said, I wasn't prepared for the fight all like that. But just knowing that a motherfucker could do that to me
Right.
didn't. I was like, dude, fuck no, fuck no. And then when I showed that fight to people who trained, they were like, okay, I think there was a moment where he asked me in an armbar, and I rolled out of it, but I
Yeah.
rolled the wrong direction. So it was like, dude, why the fuck you go that way? But if you would have went that way, you would have been on side control. You know, it's those little fucking things, and that's the cool thing about jujitsu. And it's like for some weird reason, like I pick up jujitsu more than I pick up any other martial art. For like, I feel like I can improve in areas I can learn, but jujitsu just clicks, man. I don't know. I love the concept of jujitsu. So I said, okay, if I can close this gap in my grappling with these other guys, and to the point where it's like, okay, if you try to take me down, I got something for your ass. That
Yeah.
that gives you so much more confidence as a striker. You know what I'm saying? Like Nate Diaz
Yeah.
when he fought Connor, it's like, oh, now you're a wrestler. You know, like when you said that, because it's like I'm piecing you up. Now you want to take me down, but you know where that's going to lead to. So I like having that ability. So in my jiu-jitsu tournaments, man, most of my wins are finishes because I get my wins off of guys trying to take me down. So I don't
Mhm.
have a crazy wrestling background. So I needed to, it was like, okay, you either have wrestling or jiu-jitsu. And if you didn't wrestle all your life, jiu-jitsu is your only option, you know? So jiu-jitsu was definitely my focus.
Nice. Nice. And you know, one thing I see is like the consistency. You know what I mean? It's not just, you know, one and done thing, but you're
Right.
really, you know, you've returned time and time again, and you know, you've conquered. And it shows in your actual fights, you know, outside of the tournaments.
Right.
Um, let's talk about the Muay Thai. You know, how did we get into Muay Thai, and what's going on in that world for you?
Well, so like, I mean, like that's the thing, man. MMA is my thing, and so like when I do Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu or boxing, I don't want to say it gives me a safety net, but it's kind of like it's more of an experience thing. So if I win or lose, it doesn't affect me like if I lose in MMA. So I think
Mm,
that allows me to more room for growth. And I don't know if you know Spar Wars. That's actually kind of how I know Jay Nees
yeah.
because we interact with the Fight Capital and they do those smokers. And I've actually fought a guy who's a coach there, and he actually fought on Street Beefs. He got a win,
Okay.
finish. And he had some sanctioned fights, and dude, we went to fucking war, man. We went 3 rounds. I dropped him 6 times. He dropped me a
Ooh,
couple times. He's a fucking dog, So when I went in there with him, that gave me all the confidence I needed in my striking, and that's another thing that made me want to come out of Street Beefs. I'm like, fuck, y'all didn't see that level of me when I used to
right.
do Street Beefs, so that's why I'm like, I really wanted to be back because I'm like, there's so much more to me I didn't get to really showcase, and
Real
doing
quick,
Muay
did you
Thai.
get his fight name?
Fuck. I watched his fight. I forgot what his fight name was. Alex actually was the one who told me that he did Street Beefs. I didn't even know, but Alex saw the video of me and him, fighting, and he told me. That's where I got the trophy from because we had the best fight. We were like the
Mm,
4th fight out of 20 fights. No one could top that fight, dude. It was like such a fucking war. And he's super fucking cool, man. And I don't remember his fight name. If I find it, I'll send it to you on Facebook. But
please do. Please
yeah,
do.
but he did Street Beefs though. He did do Street Beefs and he did some amateur fights, so that gave me confidence in my striking. If I can hang with this guy, I can hang with some decent strikers. And in worst case scenario, I got the jujitsu to back me up. So being a part of that competitive world, you just want to compete in every style, win or loss. But MMA is the main focus for sure.
That's awesome, man. I like that train of thought, you know what I mean? Because it showcases like the student is always learning, right?
Right.
And that's something I try to implement in myself is like you're never done and you're never really good. You know what I mean? You can almost get there, but for me, it's like you have to keep striving to get there,
It's so humbling when you think you're that guy and then someone comes to the gym and just fucks you up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like I'm thinking I'm reaching that level.
Yeah,
It's
man.
humbling, man. That's what makes it so awesome. There's always levels.
Always, always. And that's the beauty of this sport, this game, this lifestyle, it's like it's unlike any other sport, you
Right.
know. It's unlike any other art, you know. Uh Real quick, man, before we get all philosophical,
Yeah.
uh how did we get how did we choose the fight name BlackFlash? Where did that come from?
Man, so I was playing around with a lot of different names. And then I took a video shadow boxing and I had a homeboy and he seen me shadow boxing. And I don't know, I guess I was just looking fast that day and he was like, dude, you're like a Black Flash. And I just thought that sounded so fucking dope to me. And I don't know, man, it just was like some nerdy shit. And then I stuck to it. But then I was gonna change it, but when like this guy who was really close to me named Jay, Jabri Ali, when he died, he knew me as Black Flash. He would always call me that. So I was like, nah, I'm
Mm,
gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that because I want any success that I have, I can contribute to him. And so that name's just something that's gonna stick with me forever, for sure.
it's awesome, man. No, it's you for sure. It's definitely you. And for me, it kind of defined your earlier fight style. You
Right.
you were a Black Flash. The way you came into the ring, the way you came at your opponent. Um, so yeah, man, I definitely I can see that for sure.
It's that.
When do you think we could be seeing you back in the ring?
Probably March, man. So Glitch is actually looking to return in March. And then, I want to go there to corner him for sure. If I'm able to be there, but I want to compete as well. So it's just kind of figuring out things, with work and life. But I definitely want to be there. I want to be there as active as possible. Try to come there, every other month or so. And I want to be there for him, dude, because he's looking to come back, man. He's fucking hungry. So I'm excited to see what Glitch does.
Shout out Glitch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, we have a huge new roster, a new pool of fighters. A lot of talented new guys, as well as the OGs. The OGs are still around.
Right.
Um, I wanted to ask you, did any other fights besides your own stand out from the past event? We had some bangers.
Apart from that El Coyote one, that shit was crazy. But I really liked fuck, I'm trying to remember what his name was. I just met him there. It was his first fight. The Hawaiian cat with the pink gloves. He fought Baby Broly, you know what I'm talking about. He it was a bison match. It was Baby Broly and then the newcomer. I
Yeah,
forgot his name. But yeah, that fight was, you know, beautiful. Just seeing that crisp boxing that he came with, but
Yeah,
how Baby Broly made those adjustments, and
yeah,
that experience paid off. And it, man, dude, it's one of the things that makes you love it, because it's like when you try to take away from your own fighting career and you humble yourself and this, oh, I want to be great, I want to, you get to just be a fan again, man. And when you could be a
yeah,
fan again, that was my favorite part. Literally every fight, every fucking fight I loved, because it was like I got to be a fan. I got to just watch this art that we all strive to, you know, succeed in. But it's like when you strip away that, oh, I want this, I want that, you get to just see the arts for what it is, you know. And it was, and there wasn't one fight that I didn't enjoy watching. There was not one fight I didn't enjoy watching.
that's awesome, man. We definitely are patiently awaiting the videos. You know, for those who would like to catch it before, you can always catch first access.
Right.
Contact Daniel Castillo from Heart in the Fight, and he'll get you set up. Um, yeah, man. I mean, some bangers that day. I gotta agree. I gotta agree. I can't think of any bad fights. Uh, yeah, man. Fucking yeah, that Baby Broly fight. You know, it's funny that you mentioned, you know, being a fan, because it's like some guys show up month after month, and then some guys they'll come every few months, you know, maybe once a year. And you know, when I'm
Right.
really a fan of somebody and it's like been forever, I'm like, oh shit, Baby Broly specifically. I'm like, oh shit, you know, it's been a minute. What's up, bro? And you know, you get to see them in
Mm-hmm.
there and work. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you said, all over again. You're a fan, you know, and I got to
Bro,
remind
he that nigga had to
myself,
go to work the same day. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? I think on a few of his fights, it's been like that, where you know he went to work that same night. I know
Mm-hmm.
guys who you know left the event. You know, Josh speeding, leaving the event to go straight to work. You know what I'm saying? So you know, shout out to all the fighters who dedicate their time and you know their livelihoods to do this. Um, I had a really good question for you, and I kind of just drew a blank there. How many fights total do you have? What's your record, and what's the total?
6 fights. This puts me at 4-2 right now.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good record.
Fun
Four.
fact, when I was fighting Darkness and I did that little takedown in the beginning, I fucked
Mm,
my shoulder up. So the way we landed tweaked my shit. And then that's when he got on top of me. So like the brain was like, I'm not about to let it end like that. So everything
yeah,
after that, dude, I was with one fucking arm. That's what I'm most proud of with that fight, bro. I was fucked up. He was so cool, dude. He gave me Tiger Bomb after and shit for my shoulder. And it's fine now, but like, dude, my shit was fucked up, bro. I had one arm. I fucking had one arm in that bitch, bro. That shit fucking hurt. That shit fucking hurt, dude. When we came down, because it was like I did that little trip that I did at Uchimata. I do that in training all the time. But he's
mm,
him being such a fucking veteran, you know, he knew how to like take the bump a certain way. So like
yeah,
he kept the overhook tight. You know, most guys kind of are loose right there, and then you hit the trip. He held on to it, which made him kind of bounce up on top of me. So that when we fell, I felt like this weird. You could watch it. You could see my face wince when I hit the ground. I was like, oh fuck. And like that right there, bro, that shit felt good to, you know, still stay in that fight. My shit was fucked up, man. That shit fucking hurt.
yeah. And to stay in the game mentally, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
also not show it visually, you know, that's a tough thing, you know. That's a tough thing. You know, because most guys they give themselves away or they lose the moment altogether. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So uh that was the question I wanted to ask you, which was you know, where did your martial arts journey start? Where did the martial arts start, but also where and when did fighting start for you? Because I feel like we've been fighting for a long time now.
Right. Um, you know, I guess just, you know, being a kid, you know, you watch TV, you watch cartoons, you see the little fight scenes. I was always a Dragon Ball nerd, so like, you see that
Hey.
looks fucking cool. And then when I was 5, I used to play at
Oh,
Chuck E.
oh, don't
Oh my
talk
nigga,
Dragon
bro, you
Ball.
got to add me. Yo, add me on PlayStation, bro. We see what's up.
Hey,
I'll be getting down on Sparky Zero. UFC
and
too.
you finna be done, bro. I'm just letting you know.
You
In
you
a
got you got
flash.
UFC 5? You got UFC 5?
This is all I have. This is all I
You
know.
got your UFC
This is
5.
all
All
I
right,
do.
all right, bet. But yeah, man, I used to fight in the little cage pits at Chuck E. Cheese when I was like 5. Those little like,
This man.
yeah. So it was just kind of a normal thing, but it was like when I started getting bullied, I was like digging in my mind. So I'm like getting fucked with, and I'm like, dude, you can fight. Why are you letting him fuck with you? So it was like these internal battles. And once I got over that and I started street fighting, I was like, dude, why don't you actually do something with this shit? And then that's when I started getting in the gym and training and stuff, and then I was like, I dropped out of high school, man. I used to be on World Star Hip Hop. Still got my old street fight videos, like 14, 15, knocking people out in classrooms, locker
Oh
rooms.
man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely
So I
send the
was like,
clip.
dude, just fucking do something with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was like my chip on my shoulder when I went to Street Beefs, because I think the view count is what kind of got me anxious. I'm like, fuck, a lot of motherfuckers are gonna see this, and this was before it was just the West Coast page, so that shit was just thrown on OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like,
Mm.
dude, even more fucking people seeing it. Like my first fight with Bundy got like 50,000 views, and I'm like, fuck. And I was like, my first fight. So I was like, dude, I want to start performing at a better level than this. This street shit doesn't work once you get to that beginning stage. And that's just
Right.
amateurs. That's just amateurs. Then you get to the point where it's like there's another level above that, and then above that. So I want to see myself reach that fullest potential, So the more I train, the happier I am. So yeah, no, I just want to have more performances like the last one. And that's what drives me with martial arts. It's like it's that growth of improvement. I could watch my street fights right now from when I was a kid and be like, that was dope, but the new me would have did this, the new me would have did that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's what motivates me, is to just, I might think I'm good right now, but what would me in 10 years think about me right now? And I want to see that level. I want to see me reach that level, especially for my daughter.
Mm. That's well said, man. And I've seen you shot your daughter out in several of your fights, and I think that's an awesome motivator, right there.
Right.
But also too, like you said, being able to look back at yourself, and see where you can improve, as well as, intentionally now thinking about the future, and
Right.
improving now for yourself in the future. That's a great thing. I think we all need, as fighters. Who are some of your influences, as far as fighters go? Maybe favorite fighters or fighters who influenced you personally.
Um, so I guess there's different levels to that, because for me it's like, okay, the mental and then the fighting itself. Because if we're going off mental, like Dominic Cruz for sure. So I think when people look at Dominic Cruz, like they see the footwork, they see the way he moves, and that's fucking awesome. But what really drives me to him is how he recovered from injury. He tore his fucking
Mhm.
ACL. And then after, because I tore my ACL before, I had ACL surgery, and he fucking had ACL surgery, and he got the wrong. So if you get the there's different procedures you can get done. He got the cadaver tendon, which means they take the tendon out of somebody else and they put it in your shit. But if your body rejects the tendon, you got to get another surgery. So we got to do another surgery, and you don't find that out until 3 months in after. So that means another 9 months after 3 months of thinking you're gonna be straight. So he
Yeah.
went through that, came back after 4 years and beat fucking TJ Dillashaw for the belt. Like that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Kamaru
Yeah.
Usman, no knees. Um, guys who shouldn't be here who are here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
that's what motivated me. But in terms of favorite fighters, man, take politics and the bullshit outside. John Jones for sure. You know, Usman, I love Usman, Anderson Silva, GSP. I love well-rounded guys. That always been my main thing. Guys who could do both. Demetrius Johnson's the GOAT in my opinion. Guys like that. I just like watching a guy who you don't know if he's gonna knock you out or submit you. To me, that's the best fucking feeling. Is he gonna kick this guy in the head, or is he gonna break his fucking arm? Those are the fighters I like to watch.
Hell yeah. Great picks. Great picks for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. As soon as you said Demetrius Johnson, man, I just can't help but think every time that crazy armbar that shit, it plays in my head every time, and it plays in slow motion, and I'm just like,
There was like
it's
5 seconds left too. He didn't even have to do that shit.
like how, bro? Like how? You know? It's wild, man. But we have these characters and we have these fighters, and it's just crazy to watch, man. Crazy to watch.
Right.
Uh, you think you see some shit on the game or on the TV show or some shit, and then somebody pulls it off.
Right.
Uh,
And I'm still
shit.
stuck on that Anthony Pettis, that Showtime kick he caught Benson with, man. That's one of the moments too.
I don't think I caught that.
When he
Oh,
ran off the fence and he kicked Benson Henderson in the head.
mm,
Yeah, that shit was that's some ninja shit.
mm. Yeah. Anytime you're doing something off the cage
Mm-hmm.
and landing it. Yeah. But let's get back to you, man. What's the end goal for you in terms of fighting and your fight career?
Well, I just want to get as many championships as I can. I'm a fucking gamer. I want to get that popping. I know I have talents outside of fighting, but fighting's my main thing, man. It's all I think about, and I want to pursue that to the furthest potential. I feel like worst case scenario as me as a fighter is like some Nate Diaz shit. I got a fucking decent record, but I put on bangers of a fights and I got millions of dollars in the fucking mansion. I can't complain. I smoke my weed. I'm chilling. But if I can have multiple world titles, I'm fucking down with that. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I want that Street Beefs title. Give me an amateur title. Take my shit to the professionals and let's see how far I can fucking ride this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's on father time. I mean, you can fight as long as you're able to fight. But I'm willing to ride this shit till the wheels fall off. But I want to see me be the best version of myself. My daughter wants to be a fighter. I train my daughter. She loves it. So I want her to see her dad go as far as he can go. And then I pass the torch down to her. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to do this shit as long as I can do this shit, man. But, there's got to be a belt around my waist at some point. I mean, rather it's just Street Beefs and the amateur belt and a fucking professional belt. But I need a fucking belt. That's all I know is I need a fucking belt. Then that's what the fuck I'm here for. And then in that last fight, that's what fucking felt good. I fought a guy with a lot of experience, a guy who has a title, a guy who's fucking put in work. I watched all his fights. I'm a huge fan of his. Hey, buddy, you want to say what's up? Come say what's up. It's my little girl right here. She's the future of MMA
Hey,
right here. It's Octavia. It's Bob Box.
I
What's
heard
up?
you. I heard you gonna be a fighter.
You want me to champ?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And yeah, this is my all the motivation I need right here.
It was Sonic shirt.
Yeah, I see your Sonic shirt. Okay, but I'll be in there. A little bit.
That's what's up, man.
That's it for me, man. I just want to get that belt around my waist, man. As many belts as I can win. Let's fucking go,
You brought up a good point earlier as far as going down to featherweight, and I'm thinking, who is the belt holder at featherweight MMA? Do you know?
See,
Is
I hit
there
up
one?
because to my knowledge, there's nobody. Because when
Okay.
Josh left, at least I haven't been as consistent watching, so I might be wrong. But I know Josh and Mortem were those guys at featherweight, but Mortem went down to bantam, and I know that Josh retired. He's just doing his thing in the
Right.
house. I don't think there is a featherweight champ, and I know Glitch is 2-0 in his last fights with finishes in Muay Thai. He wants to go for the featherweight Muay Thai belt, and I want
Hmm.
them. We train together, so that was kind of something we talked about. Is I get that MMA title and he gets that Muay Thai one. So I'm open to fight whoever for that belt. My weight right now, I'm actually less than I was on fight day. Right now, I'm around 162. So I 161. So I know it's a matter of time before I'm at proper weight to make that. So that featherweight title is really what I'm gunning for.
Okay. Yeah, I've definitely seen guys fight at that weight class recently, but I I can't think of anyone with the belt. So that would be very interesting, man. That'd be interesting to see get set up this year. Well, why
Right?
not? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Why not? But you know, the powers that be, you know. But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited to see the next bout from you. I'm excited to see the fight with you and Darkness get dropped. And even, with doing my research for today's show, it was nice going back and seeing, all the fights that you had, the No Love, the Bundy, the Izanagi, what was my guy's name? The draw that you had with was it Woody? Not Woody.
Scooby.
Scooby. Yeah. My bad, Scoob. Scooby, that
That
was a
fight him again. That me and him used to text, like we're buddies. I know he just had as like another kid, and like he's doing his thing. But that was something we talked about a lot. Was if he ever came back, man, because he had time. He fought that other guy. I forgot his name. It was like Thunderclap or something like that, or some shit. He fought some other guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I would love to fight him again. Shout
yeah,
out, he's a fucking beast.
yeah. That would definitely be dope to see, especially at where you're at now. Hopefully he's, not coming off the couch as well. You know what I'm saying? Preparation, much like cardio, is key, So yeah, but I would like to see that for sure, because that was a competitive fight. It was a struggle. It was a struggle for sure. Yeah. But hopefully, we get this darkness fight drop relatively soon.
I'm
You
excited for
know.
that. Excited. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I heard you say in one of the fights that you love the West Coast, but you're originally from, was it New York or the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved to Arizona when I was like 12, and then I moved to Vegas. But no, originally, yeah, I'm from Buffalo. That's where a lot of my people who support me are from out there, and my family and shit. So what I'm saying, like that's definitely, I would say I represent a lot of New York shit, but I West Coast is family, so it's kind of I mean it's kind of cool to have the best of both worlds right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Growing up, were you getting into fights out there as well, or was it more so when you came to the West Side?
So like in New York, it was weird. So like I was fighting out there, but it was more for fun. It was just kind of like, hey man, you want to fight each other? Sure. And then
Okay.
we're just beating each other up. But then when I came to the West Coast, that's where the real shit was popping. And it's like motherfuckers want to fuck with you over some shit. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? So I had more of my street fighting experience and like getting into it on the West Coast. I think that's what being out here definitely developed me as a fighter. But New York brought that side of me that fighting's a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was like out there really was like, because fighting out there is different. Gun laws are so strict in New York that like to own a fucking gun, if you pull that trigger on somebody, dude, you better have a fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? So most people fight in New York. So fighting in New York was very fucking normal. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
Yeah.
but it was also just people just like to fight. So when I came out here, that's what really made me stronger. It really made me experience real situations where it was fight or die kind of shit. So yeah, man, I got love for both, man. There is no West Coast, East Coast. To me, it's just man, it's just love. It's just fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the beginnings of a fighter, are important as well, because it kind of, I believe it shows up in how they fight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like much how you just describe it, it makes perfect sense why you're able to get in there, maybe with someone who might have a little more experience and you're off the couch, but you've been in so many fights before, you
Yeah.
know, you know what it's like, or, it's almost like another day in the office.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's dope, man. The mental side of it is just as important as the technical side.
And you know, it's funny. You taught me that there was a moment where you made a post a long time ago. It was like literally just a Facebook post, a normal post you made, but it sits with me to this day. You said before you fight, instead of just thinking about your training camps, thinking about the road work and all that, how's your fucking mental? And you said you were like, mental is everything. A fighter needs to get that under control. And I remember reading that from you when you posted that, and that just sat with me. It was like the mental preparation for everything, man. And you were the like hearing that, and I'm glad to give you that credit, because I remember just reading you saying that, man, and that stood out to me when you said mental for a fighter is everything, bro, and that's 100%, you know. And it's like you can be in the best shape of your life but perform like trash, and you can be in the worst shape of your life and fucking make this shit look easy in 10 seconds, you know. And it's just that mind switch. It's just everything, bro. And I just remember ever since I read that post you made, that shit stuck with me. And I think you made that post in like 2022, like a minute ago. And it's still to this day, I remember that shit, bro. That fucking little post you made stuck with me.
I appreciate you, bro. You know, and it may be, I can't remember exactly what triggered that post, but, you know, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've been there where you've trained so much and then you get in there and you let go, you let loose, you know, and you disregard everything that you set for yourself. I've
Right.
also been in that situation where you've set so many things up perfectly for yourself. Okay, I know everything is going just right. And then right before you walk in the cage, your opponent gets switched.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
You know, right before you walk in the cage, your teammate's shoulder blows out. You know what I'm saying?
Or you
And
watch your homie get knocked the fuck out and you're next. You're fighting
and
next. Gotta
you
forget
know what
that.
I'm saying? So it's like uh you have to, you know, and this is me talking to me, you know what I'm saying? You have to seriously be on another level with your mental. You know what I mean? Like if it's not worth it, it's not worth it, you know. And I know after my first fight, I started telling myself, as far as my teammates go, if nobody's going to the hospital, you know, I will tend to them after my fight. You know,
Right.
the caring and the soft heartedness, all the friend stuff can be done
Right.
after the war shit. You know what I'm saying? And telling myself not to let XYZ phase me. And if I am phased to that degree, I shouldn't be fighting. You
You're
know what
right.
I mean? So, but you know, and that's always kind of a fight in itself is, you know, winning the mental battle and maintaining that, you know, because it ain't just, oh, I won that mental battle and it's over, you know. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate that. Uh, it's crazy because so many people in the community, you know, have insight that, you know, we're all able to kind of take from, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I just got to keep going back to this past fight. You know, I see the growth with you. You know, I've seen the growth. Uh, you know, I've seen you post about these tournaments time and time again. And,
Right.
you know, we mentioned it earlier, but I don't think we got to go into in depth. But, you know, the Muay Thai, you know, what made you say, you know, I want to do that, and then to go as far as to get, you had a trophy for it as well? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just
Let's
kind of okay. I know I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. I started getting really comfortable with jujitsu. And I didn't want to develop those bad habits. You know, I when I do jujitsu tournaments, I like to think of myself, okay, put yourself in a position where you can comfortably be here and MMA. And so I treat when I do jujitsu tournaments, I say, okay, this is grappling with no, this is MMA with no strikes. That's what I call jujitsu tournaments. MMA with no strikes. You're thinking like an MMA fighter, but you're not hitting. So I was like, okay, well, let me do something where I'm gonna fucking be hitting. And you know, I didn't want to get too comfortable with jujitsu and not, you know, develop my striking. So that's when I started doing like the little kickboxing and Muay Thai smokers and shit. And yeah, we got a trophy for the best fight of the day because it was just a fucking war. it was actually a coach. I remember me and Glitch signed up for the thing. It's just like Street Beefs, you know. It says like level of experience. We both put down 5 and said, let's see what fucking happens. And they matched me up with the fucking coach. And, you know, he was one of the best guys there. And, you know, for me to put up such a good fight against him and have my big, you know, moments and highlights, you know, it was fucking awesome. It really showed me where I was at as a striker. And I definitely, you know, I saw the potential from that fight. So, you know, to get that trophy means a lot to me because it was like, that's shown that I can compete at a good level if my head is just right, man. You know, it's all about the mental, like you said, you know, and mentally there, I feel like I'm a pretty good striker.
Yeah, man. I definitely don't want to detour you from the title run, but the Dirty Boxing Tournament, you know, is right there. And, you know, as a fan,
Right.
I just see you doing damage, bro. You know, I know, you know, it may not be something for you, but, you know, I can just see, you know, if this was a game mode, one of the characters I'm picking is BlackFlash, specifically for this game mode. I'm just saying.
Right. Well,
Well,
man,
what do
you
you
know,
think about that? The dirty boxing?
Daniel actually hit me up. He was asking if I wanted to do the you know, because there's a guy who pulled out, you know, and I know they just got Memo Silva to go in, but he was asking me if I want to do that. You know, I think it's cool. It's badass to watch. I really enjoyed the Humble Beast fight. You know, oh boy, that was a fucking scrap, dude. They were fucking going at it. I'm just so set on that title, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want that. You know, I think once I build that legacy, that, you know, like a Free Smoke, a Battleborn, those guys were able to get themselves to that level. And once they got there, they were able to let loose and just have fun fights. You know, when Free Smoke went to the scrapyard and fought Crazy Legs, you know what I mean? Like, these guys are able to just kind of have fun after they proven themselves in that sense. That's what I want. I
What
think
up,
one.
darkness?
Right. Oh yeah. Like once I get that fucking belt, I'll feel able to do these things. But I need that belt, man.
Yeah,
That's what I think about every day. You know, I want that fucking belt. Once I get that belt, I'll fucking move up a weight class, move down a weight class. I'll fight in a open weight class. I don't give a fuck. But I want that fucking belt first. I want the featherweight champion, BlackFlash, is about to do this.
yeah.
I want that.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't want just BlackFlash versus so and so. I want the champ BlackFlash
Yeah,
fighting. So you know what I'm saying, and I really want to have that that to my resume. StreetBeefs West Coast featherweight champion, and you know I'm manifesting that. That's all I'm picturing in myself. I'm looking at my bio, wondering where that label is. So you know I need that belt, man. I need that fucking title.
respect, bro. Respect. That's priorities, that's goals, and that's understood, man. You know, you go for it, you know, and then the extra side quests are just that, you know, the special bouts are just that, you know.
Right,
Could
right.
you ever see yourself going to the OG yard and getting the scrap in over there?
Fuck yeah, dude. I would fucking love to. Fucking, you know, Stone Man actually just moved to Virginia, and you know, it's my fucking boy. So I was asking him if he was gonna go fight for them. He said he's, you know, thinking about it. No, I would love to, man. You know, seeing where it all started, competing where it all started, especially my love for street beefs. I would fucking love to go fight over there. That would be fun. I don't know who's the guy over there who's, you know, I haven't been keeping up with the fights over there, but I would love to fight whoever they match me with over there. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. I mean, the guys that come to mind, they've kind of moved on. But I mean, I would have loved to see you and Manu the Great, you know, maybe you and Beach, you know, what's the other guy? You know, Wing C would have been a good one. You know, there was some you know, there's some heavy hitters, but yeah, they got some talented guys, newer guys over there, you know, that could definitely, you know, get matched
Right.
up with you pretty well. But yeah, the OGR would always be a great thing to see any fighter from the West Coast at.
Right. Yeah, man. I definitely would. I really want to get into the scrapyard at some point. That's definitely, you know, a spot where I really would like to get down to. Is it's a fucking scrapyard. I just like how it looks, man. The fucking turf, the writing, like everything just looks so fucking cool.
Yeah, we don't talk about them here, but
Oh, word. Oh, my bad.
shot. Yeah, nah, we don't do that no more.
I ain't know
Not no
that.
more.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's cool. No, absolutely. You should do that.
Right.
I would not tell you not to do that.
For sure.
But yeah, moving on. We
Right.
also have the Dirty South branch, which I think just with a little bit more coordination and a little more, a few more events a year, I think they could offer more to the OG yard in the West Coast as far as fighters with resumes and bigger names.
Right.
But they've got a branch down there as well. I wouldn't mind going out there as well, but when things are a little bit more
That's out in Florida, right? That's where they hosting them in Florida.
no, the Dirty South branch is Texas.
Oh,
The Florida events tend to be pop-up events that the Virginia guys end up doing. So it'll be like a group of the Virginia OG yarders doing like a pop-up here, pop-up there. Um,
right.
they've done Florida. They've done a few other places, but Florida's like the reoccurring one. Yeah,
Okay. Shit, them
yeah.
Texas. I bet isn't that where Jake Gotham started in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because wasn't he in Texas? Rest in peace to him. I could have sworn he
Uh,
just
R.I.P. J got him. I don't know if he fought in Texas. I haven't seen any fights, but he was a scrapyard guy.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was a champion. And he came out to the West Coast, fought Duva. That was a crazy fight at the Hot Box. Yeah, that was a crazy fight. But yeah, man, shout out to Jay Gotham and I believe his brother just recently passed as well. So shout out to him as well. Condolences to their family. But yeah, man, crazy, crazy, crazy. We've had so many classic bouts here in the West Coast, and it's only been 5 years. You know what I'm saying? More
Right.
fights in the future. I know you're going to be bringing some bangers, some classics.
Yes, sir.
You know, uh, I can't keep you here all night, unfortunately. I know it's getting a little later, but if you could, any shout outs, any plugins, anywhere that the people can meet you, now would be the time to let them know.
Man, just hit me on Instagram, BlackFlash Goat. You know, that's where I post my jujitsu content, my MMA content. If you ever want to see me compete, that's where you go watch it. And shout out Glitch, man. The homie Glitch is coming, man. So, I'm excited for Glitch to get back in there. He's been training his ass off. So, yeah, man, that's about it. Just hit me up on Instagram, check me out, and then just be ready for Glitch to make that comeback.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out Glitch. And thank you, man, for giving me your time. Uh, Great show. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you have a great night, bro.
Thank you, brother. You too, man. Be safe. Hell yeah, dog.
All right, man. As y'all see, another fire show. First and foremost, I got to thank our guest, BlackFlash. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your time once more. Everyone watching us live, everyone on playback, everyone in the comments, we appreciate you. Thank you. Jay, shout out to you. Always killing it. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to the OG Yard, the West Coast, the Dirty South. We do this for y'all. We appreciate y'all. Overtime Hustling Magazine, thank you. Heart in the Fight, thank you. And yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it for me, man. In Jay's famous words, one world, one love, deuces.